Today's episode is brought to you by Usual Wine, the modern drinker's wine made right here in California with 0 additives and 0 sugar. Usual wines are for the modern drinker. Each bottle is only 6.3 ounces. It's a heavy pour, about a glass and a half of wine. You know, no more letting wine go stale or having to pour it out. I mean, I live alone, and a full bottle of wine is a deeper commitment than I'm interested in most nights. So I love these small but mighty bottles of wine. The wines are low carb and have 0 grams of sugar. There's a red blend, a rosé, and a sparkling white called Brut. And we also have Usual Spritz, which is a lower alcohol, only 8.5% ABV. And it's a low-calorie wine spritzer that's made from a sparkling wine. And it's like a guava juice. Think of like White Claw for grown-ups. Only 83 calories. Isn't that stunning? Have a glass before wine, during, and after. I mean, come on, 83 calories. Go check out the website at www.usualwines.com and use my discount code BEAUTIFUL for $8 off your first order. www.usualwines.com and use my discount code BEAUTIFUL for $8 off your first order and try your first glass on us.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another riveting episode of the Bald and the Beautiful podcast. Today, I am flying solo. I am the only host. Trixie is... She's passed on, and so she has given me the great opportunity to do this by myself, and I'm here with an incredible woman in our second installment of the Mother's Day Extravaganza Eleganza. So I'm here with an incredible woman, a woman who, she is the sister I never had. She is the friend you've always dreamed of. She is the lover that dare not speak its name. She is, in fact, my mother, the incredible, the talented, the show-stopping Patricia Ann McCook, nay, Morin. Thank you so much. Well, of course, known to me as simply Mom. Thank you so much for being here, Mom. I know we had a little bit of a, listen, you are so good at so many things. Technology, perhaps, is not one of your strong suits. I think it took us about 3.5 hours to set up this Zoom call, but I appreciate you sticking it out.
It was just a quick hiccough.
No, is that a hiccup and a cough? That's a hiccup and a cough.
Quite honestly, I can't believe you sprang for my loins.
Now, okay, so we have so much to talk about, but before we get into the nitty-gritty, I want to ask you a very personal question.
Yes.
So during labor, when you were giving birth to me, you famously said to me at one point that the doctor or it was the doctor or the nurse in the room administered an enema to you during labor. Why? What is the point of that?
Well, I didn't think it was appropriate to tell you before. I think you're mature enough to handle it, but you were a twin. And the other one wasn't coming out.
Oh.
So they had to detach the placenta.
Now, wait, so was it okay, wow, this is a lot to process. Was the twin coming from excuse my French, but the other hole, or?
Here's what happened. I had a simple handlebar accident.
Okay.
When I was young, and my uterus fell out. And so one of my eggs was fertilized outside of my womb. You were fertilized inside my womb. See, I didn't fuck your father. I fucked your grandfather. So you have a sister that's 60 years old. She's older than me. Everybody calls you Katya, but your name was Catheter. And there's a third one called transvaginal mesh.
Now, this is a lot to chew on. It's funny that carrots...
Like your umbilical cord. That wasn't going to give up the ghost.
I mean, this is, oh God, this is fun because this is really kind of what our relationship, in a nutshell, this is what our relationship is like. It's been a lot of lies, a lot of deception, but mostly a lot of fun. Now,
it doesn't mean I love you any less. It just means I love people more.
Right, of course. Now, how would you, I did about 2.5 semesters of psychology, both at regular university and community college, right? So I know a lot about the psyche and the inner workings of people, and especially, parenting styles, which I studied quite a bit of. Now, how would you describe your parenting style, not just with me, but with my, my siblings?
Well, I would consider it a very Dr. Spock approach.
Okay.
Very little nurturing, very few breasts. Just to let you know, by skull measurement alone, I think Brooklyn Heights is your sister. So there's that. There's a reason that you plank so much.
Oh, and that would be?
Because we were in Canada when I dropped you.
No, it's funny you should mention that because I'm not a person who likes to hold on to the past, and I certainly wouldn't ever use things against you, or anybody, you or anybody, really. But if you could kind of let me in on what was actually going on that day that you dropped me, because it wasn't a grocery store at the checkout line, and did you feel guilt, or is there any residual kind of like guilt from that? Because I was too.
Two emotions. They go from A to B.
Gotcha.
In the grocery store, we didn't have the money to go on the rodeo ride. No. Were there clowns? Yeah, but we didn't have access to them. So I thought it'd be really sweet to just grab you by the ankles and swing you around in the hot deli section.
Well, I mean, I certainly can't ever, accuse you of not being fun.
Listen, Catheter, you made contact with the pastrami. I wasn't mad. I was disappointed that your skull was so soft. I thought, and then I realized all your bones are hollow. Somebody got to you first. They sucked the marrow right out. I didn't even have a chance.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mom.
Sometimes you just don't track with me. And I try and reconnect.
Well, have you ever considered that maybe it's your fault for the things that were, that you did to me, and I'm not liable for anything that I've ever done? Has that possibility ever crossed your mind, that the things that I did wrong are absolutely all your fault?
Tone,
and what are even
please?
those things?
Vibe check. 3 words. Bugle boy jeans.
All right, let's regroup. Because I don't like the way this is going in. So you married my dad. Why?
Do you see his gold teeth? When he's gone, that's an investment right there. It was fantastic. Did he have bigger breasts than I did? Just remember, you were suckled and nurtured by your father. Why do you like to exercise the vampires? Because he was Transylvanian.
Right, of course. Which is funny because, actually, I think there are a lot of listeners even now that still believe that I'm Russian. It's not my character. That's my character is really Russian. You know what I'm trying to say. And they believe that you are from the old country. Are you from the old country, or are you just old?
It's sticky. We're on tricky terrain here. Catheter, here's what happened. I was in Canada. Next thing I know, I'm crawling across the Aleutians and I end up in Russia. Who's kicked out? Well, I had to get on the next ice floe, get myself back to Canada. Mm-hmm. But I think really what you're asking is, why do I keep asking about a grandchild? When are you gonna get that pancake batter you call sperm in action?
Right. Well, this might be a good time. I don't know. I don't want to weaponize this holiday against you, as I have done so many times before.
Yes, you have.
But I would. Hold on. Let me just give me a second for. Okay.
Listen. Every now and then, I just think I should have flushed you when I had the chance.
Flushed
but then
me?
I take the.
Oh, flushed.
Flushed
Wait,
you.
flushed. Well, this is to that point, and also unrelated. I'm gay.
When did that happen?
I'm
Thank
gay.
you for coming out.
Listen, I chose to be gay about 3 to 6 months ago, and it's a decision that I made because I have no choice. So and listen, I know you have a lot of opinions, and that's why you're so easygoing. But I just need to let you know that a grandchild is not only not possible, it's imminent. It's not going to happen. Maybe. It could. Never.
Except it's 100% 50-50.
Thank you. Finally, we agree halfway on something.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Although, when I was just trying to catch up, just catching snatches of your lauds out there, I believe you said, and I quote, "You wanted my flop ass out of the spotlight." Well, maybe it's time for Mother to return to the roost.
That was so to that point, and thank you for bringing that up. We'll get to that later, but right now, what was it like being on RuPaul's Drag Race? Because I know that you're a very outgoing person. You're extremely confident. You're very capable in all manner of social situations, but never really a performer yourself. What were you feeling? How were you feeling that when we had to go out on the runway together on RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 2? What was that like?
I was just waiting for some balloons to drop, maybe have like a Chuck E. Cheese moment. Maybe there would be some games or something.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was going to be such a show pony. But
Now,
nipped. What has happened? I now do Shakespeare. I do backstage modeling. Maybe one day I'll do front stage modeling. Just, spare time.
Yeah. And that's pretty, it's pretty unusual for a woman who's 60?
Same floor.
Yeah, right,
Yes.
yeah, in her mid to late early 60s. So, how do you? Don't you feel self-conscious back there or in front with the modeling? At your age, not that you. Your figure is incredible. Let's just get that straight.
I only
Incredible.
feel self-conscious when that eye of yours begins twitching. I see the aneurysm start, and it's a look of the hour of discontent.
Yeah.
That hour leads to a 24/7 cycle, doesn't it?
It sure does.
And then the flop sweats start.
Yeah, so this is the second time you've mentioned flop. I feel like when you weaponize my own rhetoric against me,
Yes.
it brings us together. So thank you.
You have a congeniality defect.
Okay, enough of the show because people really want to know. And I have a list of questions here from the viewers
Yes.
the listeners, that's the listening. I want to, I have famously talked about this story about you that people don't know if it's real or not. And of course it is
Right.
real about when you were a mother of three, I think all of us were, we were in, 6 to 7, 8, 9 years old. You were overwhelmed. One day you screamed, and then the next week you were in China. You screamed and went to China. That's how I remember it. And you were there for 2 weeks riding bikes with some women that I'm not sure who those women are, but friends, I'm assuming. So why did you go to China, and what did you learn there?
There's something you don't know about me. I had a dream, and that dream was to be a sumo wrestler. I sold bacon, just the bits, on the weekend. And I tried everything I could, but I have Skinny's disease. I think that I'm going to need a telethon or two.
Now,
I just can't gain a pound. I can't.
You are famously very, very thin. Notoriously
I'm a bone.
THIN. Yeah, one bone.
If you look at my hip bone, you'll cut a cheek.
Now, I want to go back to what you just said because it was interesting. Why China for sumo wrestling? But I do believe that sumo is native to Japan, if I'm not mistaken. Which I could be. Am I mistaken?
Well, I see that somebody read the Encyclopedia Britannica from 1974. Didn't they? You don't know, this is an underground Chinese
sure.
wrestling. We don't talk about it. This is the first time probably it's ever been spoken about. I train with rickshaws. I train with sashas. I trained with chopsticks to no avail.
And so when coming back to America and to the family, it must have been kind of disappointing because I'm assuming that you intended to do something with this training, the Chinese sumo training.
Well, I still do. I portage. I canoe. I can make a strong soup of sorts. It's all helped me get to this point in life and raise the three of you like you were in my eye all the time.
Yeah.
It's
Which one of us? Oh, sorry to interrupt you. Which one of us did you give birth to first? I can't remember.
Well, the problem is that when you have 4 holes, who knows what's going on down there? It's like a busy furlough.
Now, are you unclear about which one came or which of us came first, or are you just kind of trying to be fun for the podcast? You don't have to try to tell jokes or anything. This is people want to hear
problem.
the real you.
As your father said, because I had things going downtown, they also opened the sunroof, and one of you came out through the belly button.
Oh, that must have been.
Listen, I still have a belly full of tiger claws to prove it.
Now, was that Danny or
Placenta,
was that Danny?
Or was it transvaginal mesh?
Now, let's talk about your work, because people,
Yeah.
I know especially my fans will be fascinated to know about your work in psychiatric nursing. I mean,
Correct. Listen, sometimes when I show you 2 sides of an ink blot that I've put together, there's only one correct answer. It is, you should know this,
a fandango?
an ink blot. That's all it is.
Okay. Fair enough. So you've worked with populations, let's see, you've worked with adolescents, geriatrics, eating disorders. You've worked with, have you worked with animals?
Yeah. I've worked with nibbler dogs.
And so out of all those populations, which would you describe as the most challenging in terms of nursing?
Oh, 6-year-olds are assholes.
Okay. Yeah.
They're just incorrigible. And then I find something happens between the tween and the adult. There's a self-awareness that simply insists upon itself.
Mm-hmm. And that's hard. 6-year-olds are famously hard to tame. Well, do they respond to meds at all? Oh.
I put them on a wheel. I put them on something to get them outside of themselves and generate electricity at the same time.
I can't tell if you're joking or not, which is, I think, what part of the fun of being your son. Yeah, I think that's part of the fun.
That's the thing. Who knows what you are? Do you need a definition?
No.
That's the least most interesting thing about you. What you do in bed is the most fascinating thing about you.
Well, let's talk about that, because I don't recall, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but, growing up as a person who decided much later on to be gay, like I am, I never received any like actual sex education or any kind of, the birds and the bees talk, let's say, from you or from Dad. And I'm kind of wondering why that was. And was it because I was myself way too sexy? You just assumed that I knew everything, or I'm not really sure.
A pink pamphlet on your nightstand. I expected you to read it.
But I couldn't read at night. There were no lights in the house. So why do you do that? I mean, I think this is like that kind of gaslighting thing, right? Except it's dark. Can you gaslight in the dark?
I understand where you're coming from. It's because I walked in on you and that boy and the girl and the half donkey, which is a mule, rubbing you raw.
Well, I don't know what to say.
Then what's the next thing that happens? I don't see you for weeks, and I see you're playing an informant on Redmond Hand Private Dick.
Well, at least thank you. That's something that Trixie surely can't say. Her mom hadn't even known that she'd been on Drag Race. So I do appreciate you knowing at least one little line out of my IMDb. Hey guys, how are ya? I want to talk to you today about high quality products meet personalization. What am I talking about? Let me tell you. Care of, all right? All of Care of's products are formulated with good for you, clean ingredients that are backed by science, hun. Not superstition, not astrology. We're talking science here, bud. Care of is super transparent about the research and sourcing behind each one of their products, all right? Your recommendations come in daily, individually wrapped packets that are perfect for getting back into or even starting a routine. Studies show it can take about 30 days for you to see the benefits of a new supplement routine, so consistency, babe, that's the key, all right? Care of makes it easy with a personalized subscription delivered to your door each month, contact-free, so you never have to worry about running out. That's incredible. Care of's in-depth online quiz asks you questions about your diet, your lifestyle, and your health concerns to help address your specific wellness goals. I gotta tell you, bud, I love taking this quiz. It was so fun. I'm a little bit of a nerd. I love taking tests, but I also love really kind of thinking about what are my needs here? What's my health? What's going on with my health? What are my patterns? It just kind of really focused me on a wellness kind of journey that I really appreciate a lot. Plus, it was a lot of fun. You get a personally tailored approach to your unique health needs, and you can retake the quiz at any time as your goals and your needs change. Because we all know, bud, we're changing every day. Every day's a journey, every day's a miracle. Spring into a healthy mindset and lifestyle. Care of makes it easy to declutter your cabinet and replace a mess of bottles with a dispenser of convenient daily vitamin packs. No confusing pill popping whatevers. It makes it so streamlined and easy. Spring cleaning doesn't have to end with our physical spaces, With no unnecessary fillers or artificial flavors in Care's products, you can feel good about whatever you're putting in your body. Wow. For 50% off your first Care of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code BALD50. For 50% off your first Care of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code BALD50. I'm going to spell that out for you. takecareof.com and enter code BALD50. All right. Thanks, bud.
I've been off my shaving game for the winter, but with the warmer weather and summer coming around, I'm trying to have a hot girl summer. I can't wait to get back into my regular self-care routine. That first shave, after letting your hair grow for a while on the face, is so satisfying, you guys. I need a razor that makes shaving uncomplicated and is very gentle on my skin, you guys. I do drag. I'm shaving parts of my body normal people do not shave. I'm shoving those parts of the bodies in tights and sweating. I need a clean shave that does not create any irritations or complications. And Athena Club Razor is hands down the best razor I've ever used. Athena Club's razor has thousands of 5-star reviews and is designed with built-in skin guards and an innovative handle to help prevent razor burn while being gentle on my curves. Plus, the razor blade is surrounded by water-activated serum with shea butter and hyaluronic acid, which is kind of holy grail for skincare. If you guys don't know, hyaluronic acid holds pretty much 100,000 times its weight in moisture. It's amazing. The best part is the razor kit is only $9 and comes with your choice of handle color, an extra blade head, and a magnetic hook for an easy shower storage. I have a blue bathroom, so I have the blue Athena Club's razor in my guest bathroom, so that my guests have brand new, clean, fancy razors. Athena Club also has the dreamiest shave foam that's back in stock. Together with the Athena Club razor and shave foam, you'll leave your skin soft, hydrated, and smooth. I love a shaving foam. There's something about it that's extra cushy, that facilitates a lot of hair being removed at once. It's really fab. I also love, side note, the deodorant. Oh my God. Beautiful, stunning, gorgeous. I ran the marathon with that deodorant. Show your skin you care with Athena Club Razor Kit. Sign up today and you'll get 20% off your first order. Just go to athenaclub.com and use the promo code BALD. That's ATHENACLUB.com with promo code BALD for 20% off.
Listen, I need to keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on. I like to fiddle with the zeitgeist, and I need you back in my womb. I need you to come right back, and we're going to try rebirthing all over again.
Oh my God! So that's funny because the next question from one of the fans here is, so what they're wanting to know is, when you reach menopause, do you age in reverse? I think what they mean is do you unget your period at a certain point and then grow younger, or what's kind of the biological process of unbecoming a woman?
You're not becoming a woman. Your body just goes back to how it originally was. You're born, you menstruate, give birth,
and then
you menopause, then you die.
Oh.
That's it.
The Fab Five.
It's just a cycle.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to do. Your body's going to go back to its natural state as when it was born.
Okay,
I could be an 80-year-old mother. And I'd have to shit another one of you out.
Was that something that you think is interesting? Was that something you'd actually be interested in? Because, not as I know, I'm not going to have children, and I know I have a nephew and maybe another niece or nephew on the way, but I would be interested in having another brother or sister.
Oh, I know you would, and it's all up to you now, isn't it? What goes on in my vagine. Oh,
okay.
If Catheter wants a baby, I guess Mummy will have to have a baby.
Let's talk about Dad.
Shan't we?
Yeah. So your dad passed away at some point, and were you ever confused about? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
He passed away due to death.
Yeah. Now that was the cause of death. It was mortality? That was the official cause of death. Okay. Were you ever confused? Because I know growing up, me, Danny, and Shannon often called Dad, or simply just Dad. Were you ever confused that he was your dad because of that?
I was very confused because I had urges, feelings.
Oh,
Listen, I'm not the kind of girl that sleeps with the teacher. I'm the kind of girl that sleeps with the teacher's father.
Well, that must have been tough because Dad transitioned from a businessman to a teacher when he was about 45.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Not just your father, your grandfather. Everybody's been inside. It's a family affair. Just to let you know, it's best we keep the bloodline pure. Oh, by the way, you're hemophiliac. You don't need to take a test. You don't need to take the test.
Okay.
And your father had a secret identity. He's got 4 passports.
Oh, to 4 different countries or for 4 different
America,
ages? Oh,
Transylvanian,
yeah.
Londonese, and Nepalese.
Well, I mean, I'd say I'm surprised, but I don't believe you. So let's just move on.
I've got the receipts right here.
From the passport store? Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about Dad again.
Yeah.
So,
You can just call him Ned. You're at the point now. You can call him first names. He's lanky.
So Dad never talked about having sex with you. So naturally, I mean, not that it's any of our business. It's a family thing, business and family are separate, but he never really explicitly mentioned ever having sex with you. So I know for me, I can't speak for Danny or Shannon, but I know that was probably the kind of, that was really the catalyst of us coming to you and trying to force you out of the house, because we had no idea that you were the mom, And
Right. Because anal's not really sex.
No, it's just union.
That's how you preserve the rose, the flower, the bud. After crapping all of you out, you stretch the old hymen there. How do I regrow it? I needed a moment of reprieve.
Yeah. Did you find that you had to? I mean, you and Dad both worked a lot. Do you ever regret working so much? Or, I mean, did you ever wish to stay at home? Were you satisfied with the amount of time that you had with us growing up in the house before we all left for college?
Why have regrets at this point when you can tell everybody how awful it was?
Okay,
fair
enough. So let's talk about your maiden name.
Yes.
What was it again?
What was it again?
And that was
a hybrid.
Hybrid. Yeah. Of.
Well, obviously the height came from Sweden.
Yep. And the
Oregon.
weight.
The weight. I have an Oregon passport because it's very hard to get in and out of that state. No bones about that. The Canadian passport. I've got some Sicilian. You're half black, by the way.
And do you regret that, or has that been an asset?
It's been a tremendous asset. Just ask my moles. Look at how hairy they are. Not everybody has a hairy mole.
Yeah, that's been good luck in many cultures and all throughout, at least the 80s. So
correct.
Yeah.
Although moles are known for tears. You may not know that. Yes, you should have I had all of my moles removed from my body.
Too much
I
crying.
preserved them in a pickle.
Oh.
Correct. They're pickled.
Oh,
Don't
wow.
mix that up.
No. Oh God, no. I wouldn't dream of doing that. Okay, let's move on. Back to Dad.
Yes.
Who do you think in the Lifetime original movie of your life, who would play Dad? My father, your husband. Who would play him?
Michael J. Fox.
Okay, from which era?
Family Ties.
Okay, great. Wow. Okay,
Because he has the Canadiana in him. He has the Canadiana. He has the Google eye, like one eye is bonk.
Well, Dad was notoriously shifty. He's still with us, of course. Yeah, he's still with us.
I would definitely mix it in with a little bit of Alex Trebek, some Alan Thicke, some Michael Bublé.
Oh, wow. So a lot of Canadian influence here, which is interesting. Interesting.
You shouldn't be shocked. So close to Russia.
That's
Can
true.
we just look at the most precious child of all, Johnny Weir?
Yes. Yeah.
Tremendous
When did he decide to be gay? Early. I think.
Very early days.
Yeah.
But he always knew he was Russian at heart.
Okay. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's tough because do you think that, or let me look at the questions. Hold on one second.
Do I think if I would have had different sperm, you would have turned out differently? Perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah. Yeah. And if you had wanted a girl and I had turned out a boy,
yes.
what kind of sport or what kind of extracurricular activities would you have preferred that I not do?
Calligraphy.
Another perfect answer. Okay, so back to your career. Let's talk about Dad again.
Yeah.
Why was he so sexy?
Because
Why
he
was
was a
he so
narcoleptic. That's
Okay.
why. His skin was pure. He slept 20 hours a day. How could you not be hot? Look at that. Close one eye. Close it. See? God damn it, you're gorgeous.
Oh my God. Okay, next question. You famously became a nurse in order to... No, I'm sorry. So let me start that again. So complete the sentence. I famously became a nurse in order to solve my blank.
Speculum problem.
Okay, so can't beat 'em, join 'em kind of a situation.
Exactly. Doctor, known thyself.
No, right. Of course.
I should have taken grammar. I should have done.
Well, let's go back. Let's go to your childhood. Now,
Yes.
growing up, so you come from a family with a sister and a brother. And
Correct.
so your brother, my uncle, grew up to be gay as well. Do you feel that he turned me gay? Or do you feel that there is some kind of genetic component to homosexuality? And also,
Yes.
am I gay?
Nature versus nurture.
Got it.
I don't
Okay.
think it's just a yes or no question. There's a lot of fluidity in the middle. Do you need to make a decisive, I'm this or this? I'm a different kind of asshole than I was when I was 5 years old. I'm a different person than I was when I was six months ago.
Yeah.
So you don't have to stick with the label, honey. You don't need to say, I'm gay today. You may be gay tomorrow. You may test the tar a little bit differently in a week or so. It's how you feel with the knowledge that you have. And I just expect you and nurture you to grow as you feel comfortable in your own skin. That's all I can ask of you.
Incredible.
Hello, dear listeners. I've got a question for you. Is there something that's coming in between you and your God-given right to a happy life? How about obstacles that are preventing you from achieving your most cherished goals? Well, don't fret, my pet. A Tending to our mental health is imperative in these trying times, or in any times at all, to be quite honest. So I'm here to tell you that there is an online therapeutic service that could greatly improve your chances at being a fulfilled, happy, and healthy member of society. BetterHelp. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. That's right. I'm telling the truth, baby. Just call me Ruth, honey. It's BetterHelp to the rescue. You can start communicating in just under 48 hours with a licensed professional counselor, all done safely and securely online from the comfort of your own living room. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses once you reach out to your counselor at any time of the day. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. What a treat. All without ever having to set foot in some dingy, uncomfortable waiting room 50 miles from your sacred domicile. The service is available for clients worldwide, and you can access licensed professional counselors who've got specialties in depression, stress, anxiety, trauma, anger, grief, and so much more. I'd like to remind you that everything you share is 100% confidential. It's also convenient, professional, affordable. Have I mentioned that financial aid is available? Well, I think I just did. I want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/bald. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/bald.
Squarespace empowers millions of dreamers, makers, and doers by providing them with the tools they need to bring their creative ideas to life. Customers can build a website, claim a domain, sell online, and market a brand. Our products combine cutting-edge design and world-class engineering, making it easy to establish yourself online. It has e-commerce, you guys, and you know me. I operate a company that is primarily e-commerce, so I understand how important this is. Whether you're just getting started or you're an established brand, Squarespace has powerful e-commerce platform designed to help your business grow. Sell products, gift cards, sell digital products. Squarespace also has fabulous analytics. You can get powerful insights about your site visitors, how they interact with your content, with an in-depth website analytics tool. I remember, listen, when I was working as a makeup artist still, and I needed to have a website with all my bridal photos, I used Squarespace because I needed to make the website myself. I had never done it before, and I did not have the funds as a very, very small business to pay someone. And Squarespace made it easy for me to make an online portfolio, have people contact me directly through my website, find my Instagram. I'll kind of always be grateful for that. Head to squarespace.com/bald for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code BALD to save 10% off your first purchase of website or domain. Again, that's squarespace.com/bald.
Now, so on the show, it's funny because you had a pretty entertaining Boston accent, right? When did you decide to lose the accent? Because I noticed just about 5 minutes ago, you kind of talk a little bit differently than I'm used to, which is fine because I know when the birds flee the coop or whatever they say, I know that there's usually a kind of a renaissance with an older parents, right? Am I not correct in that?
I went to elocution classes up in Canada land, and the Canadian accent negated the Boston accent. Ergo, I have a generic, a nondescript affectation.
Okay. And is that
one that says I'm pompous, one that says I'm better than everyone else?
That's so funny because I've always kind of known you to be like more, I would never describe you as pompous. I would say down to earth, nurturing, loving. What happened?
Because the second that you little bastards left the home, I took it back for myself. But now I realize there has to be a balance to everything. I can't be shooting my mouth off like that. I can only tell you in private.
Would you go back on the show, RuPaul's Drag Race? If I was on there and you were called back for another challenge, would you do it?
If you felt strongly about having me, of course I would. I'm here to please you. I want to see you happy, and if that's what would make you happy, to have you suckle in my arms again, then yes, I would, of course. To stand by your side and see you happily prance about, of course I would.
That's really, I'm glad to hear that. I want to kind of expose you for a minute, just in a very light way, friendly way. I remember when I was 16, you and Dad were on the way to go see my therapist. I was having a little bit of a tough time, but I had made a deal with my therapist that before you guys came to see her, I would try and tell her that I was, gay. Yeah. Because if I didn't, there would be not a lot of usefulness to your meeting with her, right? Because that was really much, it was pretty much the only thing we discussed for the past, however many weeks. So I said to you, I'm gay in the kitchen, literally minutes before you left to see her. And I'll never forget, you said, "Oh, really?" And I said, "You didn't know." And you said, "I had no idea." Now, I know what I was like back then. And I've shared with the listeners what I was like back then. I find it a little hard to believe that a psychiatric nurse who is a very intelligent woman and a very observant and loving parent had, quote, no idea that her son was gay. Meanwhile, your brother, famously gay, what was really going on in your head that day?
There's certain things that as a mother you can't see. The blinders are up. There are so many other things going on. That wasn't your leading quality. You had other things going on, which was clouding the actual sexual situation. But as a young man blossoming into whatever you wished to be, it wasn't a question of how could I not identify it? That really was not on the radar. It was how could I nurture you through what you were going through. That's it. It was just, where was my focus? My focus was getting you healthy and getting your wiring on a place where you could live with yourself. Whatever you did, if you felt like you were gay, great. But that wasn't what I was like, oh my God, he's gay.
So you didn't see any of the stacks and stacks of macho and hot jock magazines that I had piled up in and outside of my bedroom? The ones that were covered in, pardon my French, but semen. That didn't ring any bell, or that didn't, because you had to move them in order to get into my room. Everybody did. I barricaded my doors with gay porn, videotapes as well, that were clearly, well worn because of all the cases were torn and there was a lot of fluid on over the tapes.
I just assumed it was pancake batter.
I did love to cook. I did.
Listen,
I loved
you were
to cook.
a little bit of a hoarder. They could have come from anywhere. They could have been your friends. The mind chooses what it picks to ignore.
That's true. That's Psych 101.
You can quote me on
101.
that.
Yeah.
It's Psych 101 because what is it in myself that I chose to ignore? That's really the question. It's a reflective question. It's not what I didn't see in you. What didn't I see in myself? Why do I not like some people? For the exact reason I don't like things in myself. Give me a quality of what you didn't like in your father.
The feet, much too rough. Coarse feet.
Exactly.
Too rough.
They're a goddamn Barney Rubble. Barney Rubble feet.
Barney Rubble.
And how are your feet?
Smooth as a baby's butt.
Obsessed with them.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Wow.
It's all cyclical.
Did Dad ever get any of those holiday the miniature stockings that were stuffed with pumice files, the pumice stones and the little foot files? Did he ever get any of those?
Thanks you for each and every one of them. He didn't know they were for the feet. He put them in the bottom of the aquarium.
Well, at least they went to good use. Okay, I want to ask you a little so there's this like cheesy little questionnaire.
Okay.
That is, it's from inside the actor's studio. So here are the questions. So thank you. Okay, Mom. Well, first of all, thank you so much for doing this. I know the technology.
I love you, darling. You're my favorite child.
You're just saying that. Actually, I heard Danny say that. I heard you said that to Danny last week, but it's okay.
How dare you?
Okay, so this is the inside the actor studio question. They're not particularly relevant to a nurse, but I think that you are a woman of many abilities. You're certainly multifaceted, so and much more interesting than the average celebrity, if you don't mind my saying. So, what is your favorite word?
Bees.
Sorry, excuse me. What is your least favorite word?
Close the barn door. I like mine open.
That's a long word. What turns you on? What turns you on?
Hold on a second.
What?
I'm having a moisture right now. I'm full of moisture. You should never have said that.
I'm sorry, that is disgusting. What turns you off?
Oh, cash.
What sound or noise do you love?
The queen waving.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Cruise ships. I hate when they dock.
What is your favorite curse word?
You bitchy mime.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Champagne. Oh, I'm sorry. That was an answer to another question.
Sorry, excuse me. What profession would you not like to do?
Hawaii. Is that a profession? Hawaii.
For you, absolutely. For you, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Magic 8-ball says.
Okay, now, and finally, what does motherhood mean to you in 3 words?
Arts.
And very finally, I just want to say thank you so much. We don't get to see each other in real life very often, especially since COVID and all this stuff. And but I'm just so excited that you finally figured out how to use the computer without Dad's help. I should add. And I know the technology has been challenging and a real trigger for you. So
I've loved you a very long time, and I want you to know that if you ever struggle with anything, you can always come to me. I'll always love you, no matter what decisions that you make. Hopefully with everything that I've raised you with, you make smart decisions. But we all get off track, and we all feel down on ourselves. But I'm always here for you, dear.
Thank you. So will you actually you think you could give me your phone number? I know you've been very secretive about it. Because I don't know how, how do I get in touch with you if I have an issue?
I can give it to you now. It's 310-12.
Thank you so much. That is such a generous act from a generous woman and with a truly generous soul. Happy Mother's Day. Mom, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Dear. I love you.
I love you too.